This is Eagle Owl, and today I'll be going over the 53-man roster cuts, and we're gonna get through all of it. Sorry for the late video, but we're gonna get straight into it. All right, again, like I said, sorry for the late video. I had a long day, but I'm not going to sleep. You see my eyes? I'm not going to sleep until this video come out. So I give my thoughts. To Eagle Owl thoughts are out there about the cuts, about who made the team. All right, so let's just get into the bad news. Cuts, man. Cuts. You know, this is a part of the business, a part of the game. Actually, the part I hate the most. I think this is up there with the Eagles losing. I think they tied for number one. I hate seeing cuts and I hate seeing the Eagles lose. Because again, some of these dudes may never find a job in the NFL or even the XFL or even the Canadian League. This might be their last stint. And, life might just go on without them. And they probably don't know what to do with themselves. You lost a job. But let's get into it, man. Let's get into the cuts, the list, and the surprises, actually. Let's start with the first one, man. You guys know how much I wanted Devin Allen on this team. Cut. Quentin Bell, Ian Book, Kennedy Brooks, Robert Cooper, Britton Covey. When I seen Devin Allen and Britton Covey get cut, I got a feeling what the Eagles are going to do. One or the other, or even both, might make the practice squad, and they might elevate them from time to time to be the kicker, or we might just go with Oz and Boston Scott. But I believe one of the two, or even both, might make the practice squad. We're going to elevate them during some games to play special teams. I believe we did that with Britton Covey last year, actually. Mekhi Gardner, who should at least make the practice squad or be on some team's practice squad. Julian Good-Jones, Jaden Hasselwood, Tyron Johnson, who I see possibly being on the practice squad, Tyree Jackson, who's possibly going to be on the practice squad, Kyron Johnson, who's going to possibly be on the practice squad or somebody's, Johnny King, who actually had a strong preseason, strong camp. We just deep at receiver, got cut. Tyrese Maddox Williams, hopefully he's on the practice squad on ours. Got cut. Tristan McCullum. Nicholas Merle surprised me. But I got a theory why I believe Nicholas Merle was cut. But I believe also he have a chance to make it on a team. And it's weird of me saying that, but I think he still have a chance of making it on a team for some reason. Joseph Nagata, who should be on the practice squad, got cut. Janaris Robinson got cut. Tyrese Robinson got cut. Brady Russell, who got some potential, got cut. Olive Segalopoulos got cut. Caleb Sanders, Josiah Scott. I mean, trust me, I hate to see a guy lose their job, but Josiah Scott, when I think of him now, just think of 3rd and 30, man. 3rd and freaking 30. All right, got cut. Josh Sills, who might be on the practice squad, got cut. Aaron Sipples got cut. Surprisingly, punt God. All right. Freddie Swan got cut. Ben Van Serma, I really can't say this linebacker last name, got cut. Kayvon Wallace, that surprised me. The Eagles cut ties with him. Got cut. Greg Ward. I knew it was just a matter of time with Greg Ward. Maybe he make our practice squad or somebody else squad. Marvin Wilson. Then you got Trey Sermon and Tyree Cleveland. So what I think about this, I just want to go over the main guys that somewhat surprised me. Kayvon Wallace surprised me. But let me put his numbers here during the first preseason game and the last preseason game. He got worse and worse and worse. He never elevated his game. He kept his foot on the gas, man. If you look at the tape from the first preseason game to the last, he got worse. And I knew something was up with Kayvon Wallace, because I'm like, if Kayvon Wallace got a chance of making his team, why is he in on the fourth quarter in the preseason game? Him and Makai Gardner. That didn't make sense, but now it does. Um, Nicholas Merle to me was solid. He was really solid. I was surprised he got cut, but for some reason, when I look at the 53-man roster, I'm like, I don't think this is the roster, but some of those guys like the Murrow Jamos and stuff like that, I think they're gonna put somebody on IR or a couple guys on a quote unquote IR to have them on record because they didn't want to waive them so another team could pick them up and then probably Nicholas Murrow some come. We will see how that works. Or Nicholas Murrow is an established linebacker. He probably found a job somewhere else. Um, Les, who else surprised me? And the two kick returners, Brenton Covey and Devin Allen. I'm surprised the Eagles just cut ties with both of them, but I believe both will be on the practice squad, and we'll just elevate them from game to game. All right, so let's talk about some positive news. Yes, I had to use my guy as the whatever I call this as the banner. I had to use my guy Eli Ricks, man. You've seen the guys that got cut. And what I was saying about Kayvon Wallace and even a Nicholas Merle, hell, even Aaron Sipples, I believe some of these dudes, I can't pick one or the other. The reason why they got cut, because they had to make room for this guy. They had to make room for Eli Ricks. And I said, we're going to go heavy cornerback because we got too many good cornerbacks. Mario Goodrich is good. Eli Ricks is good. Josh Jobe is good. Balling out his mind. Like we already know what Slayer Vontae and all those guys can do. These dudes are balling out their mind. I'm like the Eagles gotta go cornerback heavy. I didn't expect them to go D tackle very heavy as they did. But let me pull up the roster right here. So quarterbacks, right? Jalen Hurts, Marcus Mariota, Tanner McKee. Knew that. Offense, you pretty much know. Had a feeling they was gonna keep four wide receivers, but AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins, and Oz, right? Running backs, what? Swift, Kenny G, Rashad Penny, Boston Scott. Tight ends, we did make a trade. I'm not going to pronounce this guy last name. Albert O. That's what we call him. Grant Katera. You got Jack Stoll, Dallas Goddard. Offensive line, Jordan Malata, Landon Dickerson, Jason Kelsey, Cam Jurgens, Lane Johnson, Jack Driscoll, Tyler Steen, Fred Johnson, and Sue Opeta. Defensive line, Fletcher Cox, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Milton Williams, Marlon T, who the Eagles love a lot, Kadavius Street, and Marvel Ojamo. Edge, Hassan Reddick, Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham, Nolan Smith, Derek Barnett, Patrick Johnson. It's really no surprises who made this roster. Maybe except Justin Evans. But N'Kobe Dean, Zach Cunningham, Kristen Ellis. You got Darius Slay, James Bradbury, Avante Maddox, Josh Jobe, Keely Ringo, Eli Ricks, Mario Goodrich. Then you have safeties, Reed Blankenship, Terrell Edmonds, Sidney Brown, and Justin Evans. Then special teams, Jake Elliott and Lovato. Again, this is the initial 53-man roster, but I'm going to put this quote up here. Even with how we said he talked about guys that made the team, he really went deep with Eli Ricks. Like, yo, we've been vetting him for a while. That's just a guy we simply can't let go. Just to summarize of what he said. But he also said that, and I'm probably talk about this in my morning videos, that he's going to he after the press conference he's going to be aggressive at getting like new guys to really fill out the roster because obviously the linebacker room is very very thin. Special teams, we don't even have a punter. Shoot, yeah, man. The roster is not finished. I don't think the roster is finished. I think we're going to pull something like we did with CJ Garner Johnson. Nobody knew CJ Garner Johnson was available. We heard rumblings that he's disgruntled, but not traded or he was going to lead the Saints. I think it's going to be some move like that. I think it's going to be a guy we're not even thinking of. And honestly, I can't even think of a guy, but linebacker, maybe Patrick Queen. Maybe we get something like that. But do the Eagles really believe in Zach Cunningham? We will see. Do we really trust Edmonds to be the net safety beside Reed Blankenship? I don't know. But as Howie said, he would do anything to make this team better and compete for a Super Bowl. So safety, I'm really not comfortable with Edmonds and Reed Blankenship, and it's not because of Reed Blankenship. It's because Edmonds, I'm not sure. Sidney Brown, love him, but he's still a rookie. He's gonna have growing pains. And Justin Evans, I like his IQ, but is he ready to be the starting? Like, I don't like who's starting, or I'm not confident who's going to be starting beside Reed Blankenship. Um, I think we just very thin at linebacker and no punter, no punter. So yeah, that's the initial 53-man roster. We did something like this before, and then the next day we had CJ Gardner Johnson. I had to make room, basically cut somebody that had CJ Gardner Johnson. So I won't be surprised if this is technically not our 53-man roster, because that's how we do. All right. So hey man, what do you think and how do you feel about the initial 53-man roster? I'm so happy my guy Eli Ricks made it, man. I'm very, very happy he made it. But this is Eagle Al, man. I'm a